Really upset about the Chiefs and the Bengals game. At the end of the game, a lot of people are saying that I'll do a video on this. I'll show the video on the play. If you might have missed it, it was a play. I can't remember the receiver that Patrick Mahomes was throwing the ball to, but a lot of people are saying that was a bad call at the end of the game when the PI, the pass interference. I don't see how that was a bad call. That was a great call. And not only was that a great call, but it was a great, phenomenal play by Patrick Mahomes. Because if that would not have been pass interference, it would have definitely been a catch. And it would have been one hell of a catch. It would have been one hell of a play. One hell of a throw by Patrick Mahomes. I believe that receiver would have caught that ball if it wasn't pass interference. So I don't see that was not a bad call. I think just a lot of people are rooting for the Chiefs to lose, which is completely understandable. A lot of people are tired of seeing Patrick Mahomes, always come back at the end of the game and make phenomenal plays and stuff. But here's the thing. That's what great players do. That's what great quarterbacks do. That's what Tom Brady did all the time. That's what Peyton Manning did all the time. I mean, that's what great players do. That's what great teams do. They finish out games. And this is why I know the Chargers are going to dominate the AFC for the rest of the time, however long Jim Harbaugh decides to be with us. I hope he retires as a head coach for the Chargers. I hope Jim Harbaugh stays with us forever, like for real, a very, very long time. But that just remains to be seen. Jim Harbaugh doesn't really stay that long with teams, so hopefully he does stay with us for a while. But anyway, people has to stop trying to create narratives when it comes to football. Football is football. Football is played how it's supposed to be played. Now, the NFL does sometimes they change up too much of the game. That's what I don't like. Just allow the game be how it is. I really wish the game is still how it was when I was when I first started watching it back in the early 2000s. But we just have to accept the reality that however the game is outplayed. And if the referees are not giving bad calls, don't try to change a narrative that it's a bad call, that the NFL is fixed, etc., etc., etc. It's not the case, okay? The NFL isn't fixed, but the referees, sometimes the referees do call very bad games. That's my only irritation of football, when you have bad play calling. Not bad play calling, but bad referees. But they were solid that game, and I'm going to watch the game again, with a critical eye, and I'm definitely going to, I hear a lot of people saying also, like, the Bengals, they outplayed the Chiefs. Did they really? I mean, if they outplayed the Chiefs and they lost by 1 point, I don't see how they outplayed the Chiefs. Travis Kelce wasn't doing anything. Isaac Pacheco, he got hurt. Xavier Worthy was a no-show. Rashid Rice had a pretty solid game. He's a hell of a receiver. But I don't think they outplayed the Chiefs. They matched. Here's the thing that a lot of people don't take into consideration either. The Bengals, they matched very, very well with the Chiefs. That's why they always play very good against them. And that's why most of the time they win against them. Okay? So that's what that is. They match up very, very well against the Chiefs. I'm concerned about the Bengals. I don't think the Bengals is going to make that much noise. I mean, it's still early in the year. I mean, Joe Burrow's Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow's a really good quarterback. But I have to do my research and see when T. Higgins is going to be back. I mean, Jamar Chase is not going to make that much noise if T. Higgins is not there. I mean, the history the stats just proves that Jamar Chase is at his best when he has T. Higgins on the other side. So they don't have Joe Mixon. I think that's going to hurt them. I don't really believe the Bengals are going to be all that great. I really don't. I mean, I don't think they're going to suck. I just think they're just going to end the season pretty average. I don't think they're amongst the best teams in the AFC. I believe right now the best teams in the AFC: Chargers, Chiefs, Raiders. The Raiders are very well coached, a very well team. But we'll see, man. It's still early in the season to say too much. But I mean, because some teams they get very, very hot, which the Bengals does later on in the year, and some teams they get worse later on in the year. Some teams they do both. They start off hot, and they're still hot. They go on move on to December, and then they don't lose until like a couple of games into the playoffs. So we'll see. I mean, I was watching the facility, and I'll play the segment after in a minute. But I was watching the facility. That's a new podcast. Was Emmanuel Acho, James Jones, Shady McCoy, Chase Daniels. He's a new member of the crew. Well, I guess he's not a new member, but when I was saying of the crew, because those three guys I named, Emmanuel Acho and James Jones, Shady McCoy, they were all on Speak with Joy. But now they have this new podcast called The Facility, or a new show called The Facility. Chase Daniel is joining that team. Here's the thing. All of them have played with Andy Reid, so they're going to be very biased when it comes to the Chiefs. They're going to be very biased when it comes to the Chiefs and the Eagles because of Shady McCoy. And Emmanuel Acho, he said something that I believe was very ridiculous and that I know was a very biased take, and that he refused to acknowledge. What he said is that the Chiefs, they beat two AFC teams that are looked up as top 5 teams. I don't know if he said top 5 teams in AFC or top 5 teams in NFL, but he said 2 top 5 teams. They beat them both in their first 2 games. And then he says, are the Chiefs that much better than every other team in the NFL? No, they're not. They're not. It's obvious. When you watch the Chiefs play, it's obvious they're not that much better than every team in the NFL. How can you even say that? Just because they won 2 Super Bowls the past 2 years and they're trying to push for a three-peat, that just automatically means they're just better. And then you say, from your opinion, that the Ravens and the Bengals are two of the teams in the top 5 in the AFC or NFL. I can't remember which one he said. I don't know if he said the NFL or AFC. But just because, in your opinion, those 2 teams are 2 top 5 teams, and the Chiefs beat them both, you're just saying all of a sudden that the Chiefs are that much better? That makes no sense to me. That's completely ridiculous to even ask that. Because are both of those teams not both 0-2? Is the Ravens not 0-2? Is the Bengals not 0-2? So they beat 2 0-2 teams. So why are you still saying both of these 0-2 teams are top 5 teams? And neither one of them are playing like top 5 teams in AFC or in the NFL. Either way, so I don't care if he was saying top 5 NFL or top 5 AFC. They're not playing like a top 5 team in any aspect whatsoever. So it's completely ridiculous. They are measuring these teams based on what they previously did previous seasons from now. We are talking about now. Right now. And Shady, he was arguing with James Jones. James Jones is pretty much the only one who really keeps it real on that show. Everybody else is just very biased. And Emmanuel Acho, he tries to sound like he's so intelligent and everything, but all of his takes are completely biased as well. But James Jones was like, no, they're not. And he's absolutely correct. And right now, it's looking like the Saints are that much better than every single team. I mean, they freaking blow out 2 teams in a row. The Saints are looking dangerous. I don't think they're going to do all that later on in the year. Now I know they're going to eventually, like I said, some teams they start off very high and then they just, but they are looking good. They are looking very, very good though. But right now, the Saints are looking like they're that much better than everybody. The Chargers, I think the Chargers are playing phenomenal football thanks to Jim Harbaugh, and I will get to that in a minute. But they beat two teams by 7 points or less towards the end of the game that are 0-2. Did I miss something here? It's just this is why I created this channel, because of the entire media are just very, very biased when it comes to these these games and these players. They are extremely biased, and they want to dig up facts to support their own opinion, their own perspective, and then they ignore other things that counters their perspective. And perhaps I guess they're like politicians, because if they somehow are always proven right, they're proving themselves right, and they stick with their ridiculous take that they have done time and time again, if they're proven right, it's a career for them. Just like Emmanuel Acho, I think he betted against Justin Herbert when he was getting drafted, when he was about to get drafted. So Emmanuel Acho, he still just rides this stupid, dumb narrative that Justin Herbert is overrated, he's a social media quarterback, etc., etc., etc. Emmanuel Acho once said that Tua was better than Justin Herbert. What is Tua doing right now? I mean, no, I don't think anybody will think that Tua is better than Justin Herbert now. But Emmanuel Acho was one of the very many people who was trying to say that Tua is. And every single time when the Chargers lose or they get or something, they lose. He always comes up, he always digs up and tries to change the narrative, manipulate the audience on how overrated Justin Herbert is, on how he threw the game away, or how he did not show up in the end of the game. But these past 2 weeks, Justin Herbert has made clutch throws for them to win the game. So I mean, and I say it time and time again that Justin Herbert needed a coach for them to win. A lot of the Chargers games were freaking close. That they lost were very close games. Justin Herbert, when he's under center, the Chargers, they always score at least over 22 to 22 and up. Always. That's not by accident. That is the Justin Herbert effect. We had to put up, when Brandon Staley was our coach, we had to put up 30 points for us to win, because he was just a ridiculous coach. Now we have one of the greatest coaches of all time. They're still putting up 20 points, and these teams are scoring no more than 10 points right so far. The Raiders scored 10. The Panthers scored 3. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm going to keep it honest. I'm going to be real. The Chargers has been fortunate to play against 2 teams with dysfunctional quarterback play. Now, I am not giving up on Bryce Young. I think Bryce Young can be a good quarterback in this league. I really do. I believe Bryce Young, just like Caleb Williams, but Caleb Williams is way more talented than Bryce Young. So Caleb Williams will eventually get it together a little bit more than Bryce Young would, because Caleb Williams is just more of a talented and better quarterback overall than Bryce Young is. Caleb Williams is better than Bryce Young in all aspects of quarterbacking. But they pretty much are. Bryce Young is in a way worse dysfunctional situation than Caleb Williams is. But I think Bryce Young is going to get it together. I would like to see both of them with a better coach. I would like to see them with a coach like Sean McVay, or I would like to see what Caleb Williams and Bryce Young can do with somebody like Andy Reid or Sean McVay or somebody like that. I'm not a Bryce Young fan, but I've seen enough of him play that I believe that he is a pretty good quarterback. He does make some bad decisions. Bryce Young does. When he played against us, he did make some very bad decisions, and I believe that was because he was very confused. Jesse Minter is a phenomenal defensive coordinator who is doing phenomenal things on confusing the opposing offense on what we're doing. So that's that. And Caleb Williams, his IQ is very, very. He's a very smart quarterback as well. I'm not, like, the only thing I'm saying is I'm not giving up on Bryce Young, and I'm damn sure I'm giving up on Caleb Williams. I'm a huge fan of Caleb Williams. I'm not a fan of Bryce Young, but I'm a fan of Caleb Williams. I've seen Caleb Williams play, and Caleb Williams didn't look all that bad last night. He looked well. He was good. His offensive line kept breaking down, and he was getting smashed. I mean, but when he was not getting touched, he was making great throws. He was hitting dimes. I think his percentage was nearly perfect when he wasn't getting hit, when he wasn't being pressured. And the Texans has a really great defense. They are an elite team. You want to tell me that the Chiefs is that much better than the Texans? Come on now. The Texans is another team that matches very well against the Chiefs. Come on, man. No. And you can't tell me that the Ravens and the Bengals are better than the Texans. They're not. So I don't know if he said that these two teams was top 5 in NFL or AFC, but the Texans are an AFC team, and their Bengals is not that much better than them. Neither is the Ravens, and the Chiefs are not that much better than the Texans either. So come on, man. I don't get it, man. These takes. These guys are so biased, but they make a career off their biased takes, man. But me, that's why I got this channel all day, and I'm not going to be sitting here pushing bias bullcrap. Now I will admit I do got my favorites. I think we all have our favorites. But if Caleb Williams gets to the point where he's garbage, I am going to say that. But I'm going to give Caleb Williams a few years before I start saying, okay, it's not it. But not only that, he hasn't played bad though. That's the thing I'm trying to say. Like, he hasn't played. I don't think he played bad the first game. I don't think he played, and I definitely don't think he played bad the second game. He hasn't. He just has to get into the jail of playing as an NFL quarterback, and he is already showing that. He's hiking the ball under the center, and he's making the throws. He played better. I think Caleb Williams is progressing. He did not play bad the first game. He didn't play great the first game either. It was a game he did struggle a little bit, but he was pressured heavily. So if you're going to pressure any quarterback and being up in his face, you're going to get in their head. They're going to make mistakes. I've seen Tom Brady get pressured a lot all the time, and I've seen him make mistakes. It happens. Okay, that was Caleb Williams' first game. The Titans, I think the Titans are having a really great defense. I think people are sleeping on their defense on Tennessee. So I don't think Caleb Williams, he didn't turn the ball over. So I'm not going to say he played bad. He hardly threw for 100 yards, and they won the game. He did not play bad. He did not turn the ball over. He did not put the ball in harm's way. They won the game. So this is another reason why I say how biased people are. Justin Fields' stats was not, because people like to go based on stats. Okay, so Justin Fields' stats, the freaking Steelers has not even scored 20 points yet. They haven't yet. I'm saying yet. They're not pretty much probably never going to break 20 points with Justin Fields being under the center. But everybody is saying, "Oh, Justin Fields, he's played great. He's playing really good. Yada yada yada." Don't start Russell Wilson. They haven't even played 20 points. They haven't put up 20 points yet. So what the hell are we talking about here? So I mean, in Justin Fields, he's managing the freaking game. He doesn't have that much responsibility under him. So come on, man. And his stats is not all that great, better than Caleb Williams. But everybody's saying Caleb Williams played bad his first game. And he didn't. I don't think he played that bad. And in his second game, he definitely did against a way better team, Texans. He's gotten better. There were some throws he forced. I knew he was trying to make something happen. Probably had a little bit too much faith in his arm, but that comes in time. He made those mistakes. I would rather Caleb Williams make all the mistakes now. I would rather Caleb Williams be completely rusty right now and be bombing games. I would rather Caleb Williams play even worse than he did his first two games than him doing it later on in his career, not progressing. I am all about progressing, not degressing. I am all about a player getting better. And Caleb Williams is somebody who I see who is getting better. He's getting better. Minus those 2 interceptions that he threw, he looked good. He looked really, really good. So I'm not worried about Caleb Williams at all. I am worried about Bryce Young because I think he's in a very dysfunctional organization. His head coach looks kind of promising, so I don't know too much about that coach. I know a little bit about him, but not too much about him, so I don't know if his coach is going to be good enough, great enough to change up, to revolutionize Bryce Young's career, but we'll see. Bryce Young is still very young. He's still very young, and I think people need to be patient when it comes to these younger players. They need to be patient when it comes to especially younger quarterbacks. It's very cruel for us as a society, as a fan base, to crucify young players, a rookie, a one-year player, comparing them to somebody else who did well. Okay, they were fortunate enough to be in a better organization, have a better coach, get better coaching, etc., etc., etc. Okay? So a lot of stuff comes into play here. So before we start trying to criticize Caleb Williams, let's be patient with him. Before we start trying to criticize Bryce Young, let's be patient with him. Okay? So, same for Quentin Johnston. Everybody was saying he was a bust. He's looking better now. Coaching matters. Take that in consideration. Coaching matters. So, I went too much far off on that. This video was just about the Chiefs and the Bengals and that wild take that Emmanuel Acho said. And I guess it is a wild take. I know the vast majority of people agrees with him on that, but it was a wild take because it's just not true. So we watch this, check this out, and let me how I do it. I'm gonna check out this whole segment on the Chiefs running back Isaac Pacheco fractures his fibula in a win against the Bengals and expected to land on IR. All right. So their identity is being crushed, but Andy Reid is a phenomenal coach. But let's see what happens. Let's see what they're talking about here. All right.
You know what it means to be running back for Andy Reid. He drafted you to the Philadelphia Eagles. He acquired you to the Kansas City Chiefs. You had a Super Bowl with him. No better person to get this information from than you. What's your reaction to this Isaiah Pacheco breaking news?
I hate it, right? A guy like Brett Veach does a good job of getting these type of players in the building, right? Andy Reid coaches them up. And, Pacheco was a different style of running back than we're used to having with Andy Reid, right? He likes to catch the ball, shifty, quick, elusive. Pacheco's more power, right? And then when I watch it, will this really work? And it's been working. Yeah. He's that physical part again they always been missing. And now he's hurt. I don't like it at all. Yeah. Because then again, you're going to get back up a rookie, right? And the rookie fumbled in critical part of the game yesterday. So I don't like this move, but then again, you got Andy Reid, and you got Patrick Mahomes. They're going to figure a way to win games until Pacheco gets back. Another thing about the Chiefs real quick is they're not playing like great ball right now, and they still find ways to win. That's scary because when they hit all cylinders, they're going to be 14-point win.
Okay. So you hear what he just said, what Shady just said. They're not playing all that great ball right now, and they're still finding ways to win. So I want to refresh everyone's memory about those exact words was said last year. I can't remember. Yeah. Those exact words were said last year about the Eagles. They're not playing all that great ball right now, but they're still finding ways to win. And then look what happened with the Eagles. Your ways will eventually catch up with you. We're just automatically assuming that the Chiefs are just going to figure it out. Now, let me push back on that a little bit. They have a coach who does figure it out all the time, no matter what the situation is. We have seen everything, been through everything in the NFL, and he figured it out. So they do have that. And they do got the quarterback, too. I know I always keep saying Patrick Mahomes is overrated, yada, 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 but I already explained to you why I say that. Me saying a player is overrated does not necessarily mean that that player is garbage or I think that player is bad or any of that. It just means that literally what that means. You're overrating them. Okay? I can be great, but still be overrated. That's what I'm talking about. But, yeah, he's being biased. He just said, he was like, I mean, he did the exact same thing with the Eagles last year. I mean, look what happened. So, I mean, like I said, again, dude got Andy Reid, but we're just automatically assuming this. This could be a knockoff year for the Chiefs. It could. And here's another thing, too. Like I said, a team's ways can catch up with them. They keep playing bad. That does not automatically mean they're just going to fix it, because now they are in a much stronger division now. The Broncos are playing tough football with Bo Nix not doing anything right now. And he hasn't figured it out. I don't know if he ever will. But the Broncos are playing solid football. They're not really winning. I don't know what their record is. I think they are 0-2 also. I think the Broncos are also 0-2. But they're not playing bad. So you got the Broncos. Then the Raiders are playing. Antonio Pierce is a great coach. He's a great coach. And the Broncos are playing really good with an average quarterback. So then you got the Chargers. And everybody already know how I feel about the Chargers. That right there is going to be the Chiefs' first loss of the season. I'm calling it right now. 28-25. No. Heck no. I'm tripping. I forget. We got a stellar defense, and I think our defense is going to go down as the best defense in the whole league. 28-14. I'm not giving the Chiefs. I am not going to say the Chiefs is going to score 20 points on us. I am going to keep betting on the Chargers on what they're doing. I'm not about to jinx us. A team has not scored 10 points on us, and it's not going to happen with the Chiefs. I need to be proven wrong. I need to see the evidence. It's not going to happen, not with Jim Harbaugh. 28-14. That's what I'm predicting. So come back, fact check me, document this video. After we beat the Chiefs on September the 29th, I might go to that game. I might meet Tony Jefferson's dad at that game. I did go to the Chargers' first game against the Raiders. It was a phenomenal experience. So I might go to that game. I think I might, for real, man. My younger brother and Tony Jefferson's dad. We'll find out. But let's see what happens. All right, let's continue to be watching this.
And 17-point wins. But when they're not playing well, they're still finding a way to win. I think going forward, they're going to be okay.
We'll get there. Talk about Pacheco.
Yeah, it's tough on offense. I mean, look, not only Pacheco, right, but Clyde Edwards-Helaire is out as well. He's out too. So their first string and their second string running back are out. They lost Hollywood Brown last week. Travis Kelce had one catch for 5 yards. He might be slowed down. Like, all of a sudden, we're talking in preseason and offseason. We're like, hey, this Chiefs team is legit. Look at all the weapons they have. Yeah. Now Pacheco fractured fibula. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, not sure when he'll be back. Hollywood Brown out probably for the year. So you got Xavier Worthy, a rookie. You got that other. So you're relying on rookies as the core of that offense. Which, look, at the end of the day, you got Patrick Mahomes. You got the best player in the world at quarterback. But it does hurt their run game. I mean, look, the thing that I experienced firsthand, and I know you did too, is Andy is known around the league circles for throwing the ball. Right, he throws it. There's a lot more runs called on RPOs and stuff, and he relies on that run game when he needs to give Patrick Mahomes a break. Patrick Mahomes won't get a break now. He's going to be on every single play, because I can't imagine him feeding the ball to P. Ryan or that rookie. So it's just a tough situation, because you go into the year, you think you have all these weapons, and 3 of them are already out really for the rest of the year.
Yeah, this is a huge blow, man. I think this is their identity. Right? They want to run the ball. They want to be physical coming down here. And obviously, you got the best quarterback on the planet in the world to play action pass and get into the right plays. But Pacheco, when it's 4-minute offense, he has closed out a lot of games for the Chiefs.
Yes.
He's been a big part of their success, helping them get to championships and win championships. He's been a big part of that. And he is their identity. When Pacheco is coming down here, it's about to be a physical game. Yeah. He is going to run hard. You got to tackle him. This is a big blow, because when he's not in the backfield, it's just no fear of the run now. So now you may be able to get into a couple more pass defenses, because we don't fear the run.
Only thing I push back a little bit, because he's a really good player and he's super physical, right? Andy Reid is so good. I mean, I've seen this happen all the time, right? One of the star guys goes down, what are you going to do? I remember when Terrell Owens, right? Take that back a little bit. Was lights out, right? First game for the Eagles, right, went off crazy. I think his first 3 receptions was touchdowns.
Yeah.
Oh, he gets hurt. What did they do? James Jones? Chase? You know what they did? They went to the NFC Championship game.
Came back,
and then they went to the freaking Super Bowl. This is what Andy Reid does. Oh, wait. Oh, y'all down on me. Oh, y'all think Mahomes going to be so down? See, now he's going to really draw these plays up, right? Because I think when you have Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid's the best at disguising things and drawing up the plays he wants to draw up, right? We see the Super Bowl games with the Eagles, etc. But I think he went away from that because now I got some talent, I got some weapons. I don't have to design everything I want to. But now, I got to go back to that. So you're going to see a whole bunch of more jet sweeps, more misdirections, all these type of things to make up for losing a guy like Pacheco. And Andy Reid can do it, and y'all know that.
He saw the big man touchdown.
Come on.
After he went down.
Man, listen. All types of screens. You're going to see more Rice getting busy. Travis Kelce, you talking about he might be slowing down.
Yeah.
He did have a big catch they took back, but we don't count that thing, right? We don't count. But yo, you're going to see more of him. Now, it might be maybe a different type of offense. Yeah. Because when we lost Tyreek Hill, we say, yo, there's no way he can win like that. What did he do? He won. Every time Andy has some wrinkles in his offense, he finds ways to win. It definitely going to be harder, though.
Here's my question, and here's my thought, because I'm watching the game, and the Ravens are supposed to be a top 5 team in football. Chiefs beat them week 1. Bengals are supposed to be a top 5 team in football. Chiefs beat them week 2. I've now said to myself, are the Chiefs just that much better than everyone else? Come on, I'm looking at it. The 5 teams we would have consensus said are best in football: Detroit Lions, San Francisco 49ers, Chiefs, Bengals, Ravens. That's the consensus. People might say the Packers, people might say the Texans, people might say the Eagles, but the consensus, we all collectively said unanimously, Lions, Niners, Bengals, Ravens, Chiefs. Bengals and Ravens are 0-2. Niners and Lions in 1-1, and the Chiefs are 2-0, and the reason those teams are 0-2 is in large part because of the Chiefs. I'm asking myself at this point in time, Shady, are the Chiefs literally just that much better than everyone else right now?
Hell yeah.
So, I do need to correct myself. I said the Chiefs beat 2 0-2 teams. Those teams weren't 0-2 when they played them and when they beat them. The Chiefs just contributed to them being 0-2. So I do need to fix that, correct that. But I see what Emmanuel, now that I'm hearing him say it again, I see what he's saying. But I've never had the Bengals in my top 5 ever. And I feel like if anybody has, that's just terrible, because the Bengals, they slip by. Now the Ravens, I can understand you having the Ravens as a top 5 team. But the Bengals, they creep by. Everybody keeps living off their Super Bowl appearance and that AFC Championship game. They haven't really done anything since. So I just think it's just kind of a weak take that my Nacho was saying, because they're just not. And it's how can I put this? There are just other teams that are just playing way better football right now than the Bengals and the Ravens. If you watch the Bengals and the Ravens play, they're not playing that good, especially the Ravens. They're not playing all that well. The Ravens looks like they're still trying to figure it out. And the Bengals, they match up well against the Chiefs. They've always have. And they were terrible against the Patriots. So why are we still thinking that they could be top? So that's what I'm saying. So we can, even though we can think that they're coming into the season as a top 5 team, we have 2 weeks of evidence to show if they are or not. If these teams are if the power rankings prior to the season is correct. And right now, if you have the Chiefs and the Ravens in your power rankings of the top 5, you are absolutely wrong. Because the Ravens and the Bengals are not top 5 teams, period. They're not. Given off how they're playing. Does that mean they can be top 5 later on in the year? Or whatever. Maybe even week 3, top 5, your weekly rankings. Maybe so. But the first 2 weeks, they haven't been top 5 at all. At all. So that's what I'm saying. That was just a weak take, and I think it was biased. I think that's why it was weak. Because these guys, they can look up the facts. They have the resources. They have the knowledge. They're not dumb. I'm saying what they're saying is bias. And him saying that is bias. He's creating this narrative. Now he's going to have everybody thinking in the back of their mind, in their subconscious, the Chiefs is better. It's that much better than the entire NFL. It's the Chiefs, then the NFL. Hell no. Because even aside from the two teams that they played and they beat, the Chiefs are not even looking like a top 5 team. So how can we say that? Just because, as I'm saying, forget about what they did before. I don't care about what they did before anymore. I will only care about what they did before when we're talking about Hall of Fame and it's all said and done. Andy Reid, when we look back on the history, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But we're talking about right now, this NFL season. That does not mean this does not mean that the Chiefs are as great as they was previously. And even if they were, it doesn't mean that the NFL is the same as it was previously when they won those Super Bowls. Team are more prepared. Team has better personnel. Team has different coordinators. We have everything. It's not the same NFL right now. Teams have gotten better. Divisions has gotten better. Conferences has gotten better. Teams has gotten worse. Conferences has gotten worse. Divisions has gotten worse. It's different. So we can't just automatically just give the Chiefs their flowers right now. We just can't. And I won't. Because their division has gotten a lot better than the previous divisions that they have been playing in. So no, they're not that much better. And time will show. Time will show. I'm sticking with my takes. I'm sticking with what I said until I get proven wrong. Like I said, I'm still sticking with the Chargers, the Bears, and the Super Bowl. I'm still sticking with that. And the Chiefs are going to fall to the Chargers. They are. And they're going to get their first loss of the year against the Chargers. September 29th, baby. Mark your calendar.
And it ain't close. You know why? Because I agree. They're the only team in football where we can beat you at our best or we can beat you at our worst. Mm-hmm. And not only just beat you, we won a championship. Because we won a championship when we had the high offense, right? Powerhouse offense. And then we won a championship when we were like at the bottom. That's why it's like the Chiefs, they always find a way to win. And other teams can't do that. Other teams, you got to be at your best to win championships. You got to be at your best to win games, not the Chiefs. Yeah. So they only going to get better. And another thing, we keep talking about the other top teams, like the Niners. Super Bowl, they beat the Super Bowl, but before that, they was beating them. We remember this. Every top team we keep talking about, they beat them. Yeah. Who gonna beat them?
Mm-hmm. That's what I said. You can't dispute it.
Oh, man. Look, at the end of the day, I just think that the Chiefs sent a message to the entire league. Okay, if you listen to these stats that I'm about to say, Mahomes threw for under 200 yards. They won. Chiefs were 1 of 8 on third down. They had 3 turnovers. They benched their starting left tackle, Kingsley Sumataya, for multiple penalties. They lost Hollywood Brown for the year. They lost Isaiah Pacheco in the game. Travis Kelce had 1 catch. What else do you want? Talk about a team win. I got some players that show you how a team can win against the Chiefs. This is what it is. Okay, up top, Rashee Rice, 1-on-1. Let's go. Okay, it's cover 2. That safety Chiefs, take it. Rashee Rice has turned into a legitimate threat for the Kansas City Chiefs. All right, defense. Chris Jones right here highlighted. Going to swim move inside. Oh, my Lord. Okay, what's going to happen? Joe Burrow run. Hey, the Chiefs score on defense. Jamari Conner picks up the loose ball after Patrick Mahomes threw that horrible pick. All right, so, hey, Mahomes, you didn't do well. Let's pick it up on defense. Why are they rushing through? This is 4th and 16. Why are they rushing through? There's 8 men back, 10 yards away, okay? You know what Patrick Mahomes is going to do. Patrick Mahomes is going to scramble around, run around. People can say all they want about, the refs are helping out. This absolutely is DPI. And these plays just show that it's a team win. It's not just Patrick Mahomes. It's not just Andy Reid. Steve Spagnuolo, the defense coordinator. Everyone is all in for the Chiefs. That's why they are better than ever.
You thought that was DPI?
Yeah, early. Yeah. And they got 2 plays before that. Yeah. The Bengals.
Yeah.
So they cheated. They ain't cheat.
I know y'all played for Andy Reid, and I know y'all got that close bond. But no, man. Come on now.
No what? You asking me, are they that much better than everybody else? No. He keep doing it. No. Come on, man. The Ravens lost to him by a toe. The Bengals were better than them on this football field today. Now, what I will agree with Shady on is it is crazy to me how they keep finding ways to win. Whether it's make a play on defense, whether it's penalty, whether it's Patty making a play, whether it's Coach Andy Reid dialing up some crazy play call, they do find ways to win. But when I think about you just clearly being better than everybody, I think you're looking like the Saints the first 2 weeks. I think you dominating football games looking like that.
winning by 1 point and then winning by a touchdown and then winning by 1 point, that's not telling me that you're clearly better than everybody else. That's telling me that everybody else is dang near as good as you, at least these first two teams.
We talking about a three-peat.
We're talking about a three-peat, but if we're talking about the first 2 weeks, right, the Ravens lost by to Joe Burrow and the Bengals should have beat them.
But don't you think the Bengals and the Ravens are 2 of the top 3 teams in the AFC right now?
I do.
The Chiefs beat them, though.
But it's not a wide margin, though.
You do this every year. Every year, hold on, real quick. I just want to take you back, right? Because I know you're into right now. But I'm going to take you back to back then. Every year you do this. Yeah. I don't know, Shady. He Pat look the same. He's throwing picks. I don't know, Shady. I don't have no offensive weapons. Every year you do it. And then at the end of the year, you're going to be super humble. And you're going to be like, Shady, you right. Chiefs going to win Super Bowl. That's what you going to do.
I'm always humble. I'm always humble. Now, if this question was, do you doubt the Chiefs? Absolutely not. I would not bet against Patty Mahomes. But when you tell me just, are they that much better than everybody? I can't say that off of these first 2 weeks.
Like I said, James Jones is kind of pretty much the only one who really keeps it real and honest on this show. But with that being said, Shady, he has a point for the collective society that pretty much everyone is saying, you know, every year when you go against the Chiefs and they do what happens, they do win. So they do win. I mean, it happens. So, I mean, it has happened. But they're not going to three-peat. That's the reality. They're not. They're not going to three-peat. The NFL is not going to allow the Chiefs to three-peat. The Chargers is not going to allow the Chiefs to three-peat. So, that's that.
And it's 1 point game and a 1 score game.
I'm kind of with Shady in the fact of like, because the Chiefs are beating teams, great teams, at their worst, they're that much better. Well, y'all know me. I love some track and field.
Really quick before you get your take, though, we're not going to give, like, the other people credit for making it hard on them. They all finding ways to win. But when I look at Patrick Mahomes, 151, 2 interceptions, and 2 touchdowns, that's not a good Patrick Mahomes game. So we got to give him dudes credit, but I do give him credit for finding a way to win.
They still won. Like, people think Usain Bolt ran world records every time. Nah, he just won every time. Because even you saying it is worse is still better than you with your best. And that's what I feel about with the Chiefs. That's why I love Shady's take, because it's not just how good are you on your best day. This is what nobody ever says in sports. It's not how good are you on your best day. How good are you on your worst day? Because if on your worst day, you're still better than them on their best day, then you're that good. And on Mahomes' worst day, that was Mahomes' least.
But see, this is what Acho is failing to acknowledge. Them being at their worst day, they was going against teams that wasn't all that good anyway from the get-go. That's the point. That's what he's ignoring, and that's because he's very biased when it comes to the Bengals and the Ravens as well. People just think these teams are like godlike figures, and they're not. The Raiders beat the Ravens. They beat them. Lamar Jackson was shut down. Lamar Jackson has not been playing well the past couple games. So come on, man. I don't know what else to say. I'm being redundant at this point.
Amount of passing yards in the game he started and finished. He's never had fewer, and he still won. He had 2 turnovers. The Chiefs had 3, and they still won. 1 of 8 on 3rd down, and they still won. They were trailing with a minute left, and they still won. So if I can still beat you, they got to beat him.
We didn't show the field goal either. 50-yarder to the end.
Team game. He played for a 50-yarder. Imagine how much confidence
he did. He really did, though.
He played for...
It's wild. Y'all really saying that they're that much better than everybody.
They do every year. Well, James, real quick, they on a 3-peat mission right now. Like, what we missing here? What we missing?
I'm just saying, when you tell me I'm that much better than you,
I don't lose, bro. I don't lose. I won championships. I don't lose.
Oh, man.
Okay, real quick, I'm losing championships. I'm not losing.
They should have lost, man. They didn't. I ain't hating, but
we need to hate the channel. You know, the tournament.
So alright, that's that. I mean, whatever. Their takes is their takes. Their opinions is their opinions. I mean, same for mine. I just have a deep feeling that the Chargers are going to really take the whole entire league by notice because of who their coach is. That's the reason why with me. If we didn't have Jim Harbaugh, I would not be saying this. And I've never have been since, and I have never had that much faith in the Chargers since we had Marty. And so, and Justin Herbert's going to start getting his respect, and so are this whole entire Chargers organization. I think they're going to get their respect after September 29th. I think that's when the entire league is going to start waking up and being put on notice. But yeah, that's that, and we're just going to see, man. This is exciting NFL season. These games has been really exciting from NFL to college, or from college to the NFL. That's football, man. These storylines are circulating, and it's exciting right now. I'm looking forward to week 3 already, and I'm looking forward to doing my next video for you all, and keep putting out this very valuable content. And I thank you all for supporting my channel, for watching my videos, commenting, sharing, subscribing, and everything. You can follow me you can follow my personal chat, my personal social media, the Dante Taviance, or the all day content, the all day social media on X, Facebook, Instagram, obviously this YouTube channel. And yeah, let me know what you think, and let me know what you think about this scenario right here about the Isaac Pacheco. Do you think the Chiefs, do you think that's really going to hurt the Chiefs? Because Andy Reid does rely heavily on the running game. Do you think that's going to hurt the Chiefs? Do you think Patrick Mahomes is going to have a fall-off year this year? Do you think the Chiefs is going to have a fall-off year this year? Or do you think they're going to keep doing what they do? Let me know what you think in the comments. I think the Chiefs are still going to be good. They're still going to be great. I'm just saying they're not going to three-peat. I'm just saying that the Chargers is going to knock them off. That's all I'm saying. So, they'll figure it out. Because they always have, and they always will, because they got a great coach. They got a great quarterback. Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes. Thank you so much, and we'll be back soon, all day.